Time for Business Insight now. In the race for greater economic prosperity, Greater Cincinnati remains in 10th place. That's 10th out of 12 regions measured in the latest Regional Economic Indicators report. That report is commissioned by the Regional Planning Initiative's Agenda 360, focusing on Southwest Ohio, and Vision 2015, focusing on Northern Kentucky. It's the same spot the Tri-State held in the first such report issued in 2010. The region has increased the percentage of residents with a bachelor's degree or higher, a critical measure of success, but it also has a higher percentage of people living in poverty. That is a disappointing change. Local business leaders say significant change takes more than a couple years. With more on what's ahead for these two important initiatives, U.S. Bank Business Watch's Kelly Leon is joined by Bill Shire, President of Vision 2015, and Mary Stagaman, Executive Director of Agenda 360. Kelly?
Thank you, Brian. And Mary, Bill, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
Let's start with the goals. Such lofty goals: grow jobs, improve education, reduce poverty. How do you even begin to tackle those goals and then measure those goals?
It's a great question, Kelly, and I would start, and then I'll ask Bill to follow on, but I think that you start with collaboration. All the work that we do requires the commitment of many, many people and organizations around our region. We certainly can't make progress on those big goals without the help and the alignment of the work of many organizations that are working to change the picture on things like education and the number of people in poverty.
And I would say that collaboration and developing focused partnerships is the key. From a measurement standpoint, it's really one of the reasons that we, as two organizations, partnered originally to produce the Regional Indicators report, to be able to set up some top-line measurements and a very solid system of tracking those over time so we can really keep track of how we're doing, moving toward our large vision and goals.
And this is a big step for us, the fact that the two organizations are working together, Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati. For so long, we seem to be pushing each other away instead of coming together. Would you agree with that?
I think I'd agree very much, and I know Bill and I say that we will know we've been successful when someday people look around and say, didn't there used to be a river here? We know there are historical and cultural and political and jurisdictional and all kinds of boundaries between the states and between aspects of our region, but we truly believe that our future relies on us working together and collaborating as if we were one. And that's what we try to do every day.
And do we still get resistance to that? Are you still feeling a...
Well, I don't think, I wouldn't say we have resistance to working together. I think there's still inertia. There's still this history of this cultural approach of we're separate, we're different, we have to, stake out our own territory. That's still there, but we're working our way through that, and I think most people, when they look at it, say, well, hey, this is great that these two organizations are really taking the lead and working together to bring the region together.
So other than the disappearing river, how will we know when we have been successful, truly successful, based on the data that you're gathering and the perceptions that you're seeing?
Well, you know, I think we actually have already achieved a lot of success, and one of the things to remember about this report is in order to compare ourselves against the 11 peer regions that we created, a setup, we really have to look at historical adjusted data. Most of these come from government sources. So it's really a look back at how we did, up to about the end of 2010. But if we look at what's happened since then, we're seeing great progress, for instance, in the realm of jobs. Since between August of 2011 and August of 2012, we created 27,000 jobs in this region, which places us 6th in the country for metros that have a labor force of over 1 million people.
Wow. What kind of jobs are they that are being created?
Well, I would say two things. First of all, people should be aware of the fact that our region is really doing well in manufacturing. And so that is a real strength of our region, even ahead of the rest of the country. But then in this report, we found that knowledge jobs have increased, which was one of those indicators that we felt good about seeing go up. So I would say that there are a range of jobs, but ranging from high-end technical jobs to regular jobs for people who are just in the pipeline.
Well, and I would add, too, that you noted at the beginning the increase in our poverty rate. And although that's disappointing, we think it's really continued reverberation from the economic downturn. The good news is that over the last couple of years, Vision 2015 and Agenda 360, working with the United Way and hundreds of organizations across the region, have set a bold goal to bring 90% of our labor force to gainful employment by the year 2020. When we put together our first report, that was not possible. And the fact that now we have a program and processes and initiatives aimed squarely at reducing the poverty rate here, we really believe that we will see improvement there over the next few years.
Well, that's great. And we don't have much time left, but let's end on a high note in terms of another high note. What else is next? What else can we look for? What's going to be the next bold step? Any thoughts?
Well, I really think it's going to be a continuation of the work we've already started, trying to move the right indicators up. Educational attainment, just to pull one out, is such a critical element in every community, and we've begun making additional progress on that. I think that'll continue, and I think our economic success will continue as well.
And when will the next measurement be taken? When will we
we
revisit?
maintain this information in a current fashion all the time online, but the next report like this is intended to be in 2 years.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll check back with you before 2 years.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because we like to keep posted on this. And we want people to know this information so they can talk about it and celebrate it. Because that's, as we've talked, perception is a lot of this. People...
We think it's so critical that we have the right mindset about where we're going as a region. We are both incredibly optimistic about what's been happening in the last couple of years. We've had great strides in innovation as well. We didn't even talk about that. But our mindset and our ability to believe that we can grow and win as a region is critical to our success just as much as the numbers.
All right. Thank you so much. I've gone over time. Brian, back to you.
All right, Kelly, Mary, Bill, very encouraging, very interesting.